She was as beautiful as a fairy one second, and turned into an 80-year-old lady the next. Now, the only thing Arthur and his team can do is to find the real murderer as soon as possible and save Myka. Through Myka's blood test, they found that his blood contained a lot of silver nitrate. That's right, Anya's blood also had this ingredient, and silver nitrate was the main ingredient of film developer. Arthur immediately thought of the key. It turned out that in the 1990s, there was a photographer named Manley. He was a master of surrealism. It was rumored that his camera had some kind of supernatural power, but this had never been publicly confirmed. They checked the surveillance at the fashion show and found a mysterious photographer. He took an old-fashioned camera. He only took a photo of Myka and left in a hurry. There was something wrong with this guy. So they found the photographer through the registration information. Sure enough, Man Ray's camera, and all the photos of the missing models on the wall. Evidence proves this guy is stealing and selling other people's youth. It's him. Peter was so angry that he wanted to tear him apart. Claudia quickly reminded Peter calm down and figure out how to save Myka first. It turns out that if you take photos with that camera, put the photos of the two people in the developer, the identity will be swapped. But why choose the model as the target? This is the key. Models are talented. On the catwalk, they will fully show themselves. Only then can the camera capture the soul. However, when they asked how to rescue Myka, the photographer took out a lighter and ignited the developer. Then he fled in the chaos. In order to track his whereabouts, Claudia checked his consumption records and found that he had frequently ordered flowers from a flower shop recently. Myka concluded that they were for Romana. After all, Romana received flowers every day recently. But because the other party was a small photographer, she ignored it. Sure enough, the photographer found Romana. He had always loved Romana, but she thought he had no money and no status. So he used the camera to start his revenge. At this time, Peter suddenly appeared and threw her down, but Peter gradually lost the upper hand in the fight. The photographer picked up the stun gun on the ground. Just when she thought she had won, with the sound of a shutter, Arthur used Man Ray's camera to record this moment. It turned out that Arthur found that it was actually very simple to reverse the youth swap. It only took 2 exposures. The photographer knew that he had lost and finally confessed his identity. It turned out that he had been Man Ray's exclusive model since he was 22 years old. Later, Man Ray gave him the camera. Many years later, he accidentally discovered that the camera could restore youth, so he became the first person to enjoy this ability. Today, he is 98 years old. As he spoke, the photographer had become a white-haired old man, and Myka in the hospital also returned to his original appearance. This episode ends here. If you have 10 million, would you use it to exchange for your 20-year-old youth?